Alright. Alright. Yo, where were you? I was in Mexico, bro. I was in Mexico. My family dragged me out to Mexico, guys. But we're back in the US of A. I will never, ever, ever take this place for granted again. Drizzy v Cabo? No, dude. That just is not how it is. I'm telling you. That was not what went down. I do have to pull up TikTok, though. I'm just... Boom. Why Mexico? Bro, because my grandpa loves this resort there, and he's been a member there for 20 years. And he goes there, like, every year, every other year. And I live in Florida. He lives in Texas. And so I don't get to see him very much. And he invited, like, my household to go with him. So we went with him this time because I wanted to see my grandpa. But to be honest, I would... Dude, if my grandpa wasn't going, I would have just stayed home. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Dude, 14 gigabyte update for Fortnite? I don't know why my grandpa loves the place so much, but whatever. It is what it is, man. I know what's so good about Mexico. I'm gonna play, I'll start out with Rocket League today, because my Fortnite has to update. It's a bit tragic. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, see, that's a... Is that a respectable reason? Is that a respectable reason? Dude, my Rocket League has to update, too. Everything has to update. What the hell is going on? I should have just updated Fortnite earlier. What the hell? I also feel like shit today. Like, I feel terrible. This is ridiculous. Let's see how long Fortnite is actually going to take. Let me see. We'll see. BTD stream? Those get real boring real quick. Yeah, I think I'll play Rocket League today, and then I'll see if I can get on Marvel Rivals after that. Bro, 74 gig. Why does every game need an update? Bro, every game needs an update. Seriously. It's actually crazy. It's pissing me off. We might have to react to some stuff. How would you guys feel about me reacting to things? How would you feel about a little reaction stream? Does he work, chat? I'm not going to answer that question. Alright. Oh, shit! No way. That's so sick. That's so sick. Dude, they added Jinxie to Rocket League? They gave him a collab? No shot. That's crazy. Look at this. Dude, how cool is that? And I got ball right down here. Look at this. You felt patriotic today? Bro, come on. What kind of question is that? So sick, chat? I am sick. I am sick right now. This is going to be a little bit of a a lower energy stream. Oh, Nose Guy's back. No way. I had to peel a bunch of dead skin off my nose from the Mexican sun. No, I know it's the same sun. We're getting a lot of sun in Mexico. Oh shit. It's not good. Is your bed made? Probably not. I honestly don't remember. No way, dude. I'm ass. I'll read that. I heard something about the Lord Jesus Christ. Or saw something about the Lord Jesus Christ. Charity Navigator, charity, charity, Navigator, charity over politics, charity over religion. He says Lord Jesus Christ is Lord 1611. True. Mr. 12, what's up? What's up, man? How'd you like the video you asked for? Mr. 12, in the TikTok chat. Good, bad, ugly? No! Damn. Are we dead ass? Patriot maxing and Rocket League maxing? Dude, I'm Rocket League minimizing, bro. I'm not even Rocket League maxing. I suck. So like, look at this. I'm no Rocket League maxer. That was an open net and I missed it. But I am always Patriot maxing. Tactical bump. That bed was still better than me. Maybe if you don't play the game. I don't play the game either, to be honest with you. I play it on stream sometimes. The only reason I'm playing it right now is because my Fortnite and my Marvel Rivals is updating. Or, well, they got updates that are too big to the point where the stream would be. I liked your New Jersey video. Thank you, bro. W New Jersey as well. Honestly, that series just gives me video ideas, like endless video ideas. The revolution was fought in New Jersey. You're welcome for your freedom. Yeah, thank you, bro. The revolution was fought in New Jersey. It was fought in like New Jersey, Pennsylvania. It was fought in Georgia. It was fought in the Carolinas, Virginia, Pennsylvania. Did I already say Pennsylvania? I don't remember. It was fought in Boston. Well, Massachusetts. It was fought in New York a lot. It's fought all across the original 13 colonies. No way. Yeah, I was going to say, no way he gets that. My friend Jenna is in an argument. Can you say I support Jenna's side? No, because I don't know what Jenna's side is. That was kind of saucy though. That was kind of sauce. Tell me it wasn't. Oh no. Oh fuck me, dude. I'm so ass. Silence Territory, one of the original 13, is speaking my unironic political view. Oh, come on, dude. I'm a heritage American, right? Like, I was here, my family was here, you know, well, not even just heritage, founding stock. Like, my family's Mayflower descendants, my family's has a lot of ancestors that were in America during the Revolution. Was I born in one of the original 13? No. Oh, you're indigenous? No, I'm not. Well, not really. I mean, define indigenous. Oh, settler heritage. Do I look indigenous? No, a heritage American is an American who's been here since the Civil War or before, like family hat. A little bit? That's because I just got back from Mexico, bro. Oh, the dark hair? No, I get that from my dad. He's got a decent amount of French ancestry, like Southern French. That's where I get the dark hair from. Are we dead ass? I'm gonna lose this, by the way. But no, I'm not a heritage American. Like I said, somebody whose family has been here since, I believe, before the Civil War or during the Civil War. And then a founding stock is somebody whose family was here during the Revolution, like in the United States, which my family was both. Like if you're founding stock, then you're definitely heritage. So I'm both. Sup, AJ? What's up, Cameron? How you doing? So we lived in one of the 13 colonies at some point. At some point. I was born in Florida. But at some point, my family was probably in New York. You're so handsome. I appreciate the compliment. I'm good. How you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Wow, holy shit, that was really bad. I'm not good at Rocket League. I'm here to talk to chat. But it was probably New York. Like my grandparents were born in Michigan and Massachusetts, so. Weird how y'all don't count African Americans as hair. I do. Who said? About 80 to 90% of them are heritage Americans. They are. I love Rocket League so much. I really don't, bro. I'm playing it because there's nothing else. All my other games are updating. Yeah, whoever doesn't count African Americans as heritage Americans is an idiot. Dude, are we fucking serious? I'm so bad! I thought I thought this like a weird white supremacy thing. No. Like, what's your favorite game? My favorite game is Fortnite, but my Fortnite's update. My Fortnite's got an update that's too big for the stream, unfortunately. Fortnite is the only game I can, like, handle myself in. I can't handle myself in Rocket League. As you can tell. See, look. Dude, and I'm just playing like shit today. Like, I'm playing even worse than usual. Thank you for Minnesota vid. No problem, bro. I did it because you were very persistent in commenting. The next one, I think, is going to be South Carolina and then Tennessee, or Tennessee and then South Carolina. I haven't decided which one I'm going to do first, but I have people asking for South Carolina a lot. I have one guy asking for Tennessee all the time who, you know, he's in my DMs and stuff, so it's cool. I think those who came to the U.S. post-1865 get nervous about being heritage Americans. About not being heritage Americans. Why do they get nervous? Welcome back, Cameron. It's not a bad thing if you're not a heritage American, but you just said, shut up, one of the original 13 is talking, so. Just saying, I got a claim to the original 13. That's all, that was all my response was meant to be. Of association between opposing. I have an Eastern/Southern Europeans. Dude, Rocky was a Southern European, bro. It literally doesn't matter. Wait, am I like... Oh, I'm banned from comp for a couple minutes, right? Am I? I'm not sure. I know you don't mean it like that. No, I don't. I do think it's cool. Like, you seem like a nice, cool guy. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's all I try to be. No, I think it's cool. I'm proud of being a heritage American, but I don't think somebody's worse if they're not. And it's like I said, it's not a race thing. Like, it's not a race or ethnic thing. You know, people who are indigenous technically, well, I don't know, because it would depend. Like, if they lived in one of the original 13 colonies at the time, then they would be. But if they were in like California, then, well, then they would still be heritage. Actually, they would still be heritage, but not founding stock. And then African Americans are founding stock, and because it was like right after the revolution that they banned importation of new slaves. Right, I've just heard people use it in like a roundup anyone who isn't heritage type way. Who the hell is saying that? I've never heard that in my entire life. And then African Americans, it's like 90% of them. I believe the number's 90% are founding stock. I think I'm banned from comp because I abandoned that 1v1. So we're just going to do casual. Dad? I'm not your dad. There's some absolute nutty shit on Twitter, so maybe I just got to get off that apple. Yeah, I haven't ever been... I've used Twitter to, like, fact check to see if somebody actually tweeted something. Dude, I'm banned from matchmaking for another 2 minutes. This is so stupid. I've only... Okay, just checking. Liam liked the live. Thank you so much, Liam, for liking the live. You said thanks for the Minnesota video. Tell me what you thought about it. Just checking? Yeah, you don't got to check with me. I know for a fact I'm not your dad. But yeah, I've only ever gone on Twitter for the reason of, like, checking. You still going to Rain? Yeah, I go to Rain. I've just been gone for like 2 weeks. I went to Maryland to see Alex Eubank, and I went to Mexico with my family right after. Fizz, thank you so much for the heart, me. Yo, AJ Drizzle, did you do a video about Missouri yet? No, I did not. I'll add Missouri. It's always on the list. The Twitter algo is race war now at all times, so just the past few years. Yeah, but it's not just heritage Americans doing that. There's a bunch of different groups of people pushing a race war. It's stupid. But yeah, I am still going to Rain. Bro, let me join. Like the Rocket League? Yeah, add me on. Just add me. My username is fatmf69_. You can see it on Epic. We can play cash. We can play comp if you're not too good. Is Rocket League on mobile? I don't think so. But Lovely Daisy asking me if I did a video about Missouri. I am going to do a video about every single state. I'm just kind of going in the, not necessarily the order of what I get requests, but like I try to see who's been giving me requests like day after day, who's given me requests the most recently, stuff like that. So, and I'm backed up, you know, like I have a lot of ones I have to do, and I'm trying not to waste it. Like I'm trying not to waste the whole series, so I'm doing one a day. So I will do a video on Missouri. It'll probably be pretty soon. I've had a couple of people ask me to do Missouri. But I'm doing, next is either going to be Tennessee or South Carolina. And then the one after that is going to be the other one. Just hung out with Eddie and Edwin yesterday. That's sick. Fig sent 2 roses. Thank you so much for the 2 roses. Fizz. It's not Fig. Sorry, I'm far away from the monitor and I can't really see. Well, not far away, but like I'm focusing on multiple things. Yeah, thank you so much. Dude, are we joking, bro? Are you gonna do a video about Arizona, my favorite state? Yes, I will do a video about Arizona, but I haven't been requested it a ton, if you know what I mean. I think you're the first guy to request that. To request Arizona. So Arizona will probably be a while. But I will get to every state. The name of the series is 5 facts about every state. We're doing every state. But I'm doing 1 a day. So it's going to take over a month. Dude, I suck at this game, bro. I wish I was good at this game. But Alexandrocoli, are you from Italy? Like, do you live in Italy? Because you you talk kind of like you do, but you're very patriotic towards the U.S. So I'm not sure, you know. Dude, this fucking decal actually makes me play like Jinxie. Which is not good. Like, it actually makes me play like Jinxie, bro. Telling you. Bro, this guy is fucking bumping the shit out of me. Fucked! Locked in, bro. I'm not locked in on the game, man. I'm so ass. CPT Luffy 23. I'm terrible at this. I'm only playing because my other games are well, they have updates that are too big for the stream. I'm not even actively updating them right now because it's just gonna, you know, it's gonna make me lag. Bro, I don't even care anymore. I'm playing fucking Balloons Tower Defense. Hey man, how are you? I'm doing good, bro. I'd be doing a lot better if I could play anything other than Rocket League, but I'm not doing too bad. How are you, Anthony Logan? Yeah, I'm gonna play fucking. Dude, we're playing Balloons Tower Defense. Fuck it! Ugh, it's so... Dude, it's so annoying, though. So annoying. I hate Rocket League. And I feel like shit today. Like actually terrible. But I'm doing good overall though. I'm not a complainer. Just gonna rip like a little low cortisol map. Oh, dude. Super cool, bro. Here in Austin, it's very hot. Oh yeah, dude. When I just came back from Mexico, I had a layover in Dallas. It's hot in Texas right now, bro. It is hot. It's like stupid hot. When I got in, it was like 101. But usually it's hotter. I'm going to be honest. Usually I feel hotter in Florida. Because I live in Florida. But that was nuts. That was actually insanity. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. That was stupid hot. And I talk about like Florida's the state that feels the hottest because of the humidity, but bro, Texas right now feels hotter than Florida. It was just like, it was dumb how hot it was, bro. And I was only there for like an hour. In the airport. It was just the second I walked off the plane, I was like, dude. It's like, what the just hit me? American Nationalist, what's up? Anthony Logan. Wow, I thought Florida was harder. Dude, it usually is. It's usually hotter, but I'll tell you this. Florida's consistent. Florida is consistently hot. Okay? Like, even in December, you have days where it's 90 degrees. BTD6, yes, BTD6. You have days in Florida where it's like 90 degrees any month out of the year. It doesn't matter what month it is. There's going to be at least 1 or 2 days where it's like 85, 90. And there's going to be a lot of days where it's 80. So Florida's like consistently hot, and the humidity makes it like really bad. So I'd say on average, it's the hottest state. But, bro, that heat wave that y'all got in Texas right now is stupid, bro. I can talk about humidity all I want. It's 100 fucking degrees. It's 100 degrees in Texas. Florida never gets to 100. It goes to 90 all the time, but don't let people fool you. It'll never be 100. Goes to 90, goes to 93, 94, but it doesn't go past that. But it's like ridiculously humid. My dad's lived in Florida for like almost 50 years out of his life. You know, he was born in Florida. He moved out and moved back a couple of times for, you know, various things. He says like Nevada's hotter because he's worked in Nevada before. I'm like, Dad, you're tripping. I want to go to Anchorage, haha, just to feel real cold weather. Yeah, I lived in Pennsylvania for a couple years out of my life. I felt some cold weather in Pennsylvania, I'll tell you. But yeah, Anchorage would be cool. I actually want to go to Alaska. A dream of mine, I'll tell you guys this, a dream of mine is to get, is to go to Alaska, go like up to the Northern Lights. Oh shit, I need a ninja monkey. Go up to the Northern Lights and just ride around a snowmobile. Not on a fucking like, not on a tour, not with somebody guiding me, not on an expedition or anything like that. Just go to Alaska, go out into the wilderness where there's just a big open field with a bunch of snow, get on a snowmobile and just ride around, have the Northern Lights in the background. That is like the ultimate dream activity for me. That's what I want to do. Tell me if that's aura, and post a picture of it online where I'm on the snowmobile like this, like leaning on it, and I have the Northern Lights in the back. That would be so tough. Tell me it wouldn't. What do you guys think of that? What's your dream, like, maybe not vacation, but activity to do? Tell me, guys, what do you think? Dream activity that would require a vacation. What is it? Maybe go all over to the 50 states. Yeah, going to every state would be sick. I've been to, let me I'm not going to include states that I've just driven through. So states that I've actually visited, like states I've actually visited, spent the night, done something there. I've been to New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Florida, Virginia, Colorado, California, Nevada, Hawaii, Texas. I believe that's it. I think those are the states I've been to. So I've been to, like, you know, the most of the big ones. In Iowa, you can legally use explosives depending on specific situation. So I would go with the boys. That's tough. That's cool. That's something cool. But yeah, One Nation Under God. How have you been? How have you been? Love to hear from you. I really want to see Mount Rushmore, though. Maximus LeBrown, how you doing, man? How's it going, bro? Good, man. I've been waiting for the live. Dart? Yeah, Dart. Dart Monkey? Should I place down Dart Monkey? All right, fuck it. I'm gonna place down Dart Monkey. I'm gonna have him hit absolutely nothing. He's just gonna be in the center. I want to go to Louisiana to hunt crocodile and fight with him to see who wins. To hunt a crocodile and fight with him. You can do that in Florida, bro. Doing good, bro. How about you? Hell yeah. I'm a little sick today. And my physique has deteriorated due to Mexico. But besides that, I'm happy to be back in the States, bro. I'm always going to be happy to be back in America. You know, America's got... Oh, wait, shit. I got to sell this guy. America has, you know, good cell service, good data. They got... Nobody's trying to sell you anything when you leave the house. They got variety. They have Ghost at the gas station. They have more than just pharmacies and knick-knack stores. They have every, you know, biome you could ever possibly want. Beaches, mountains, etc. We're talking about, you know, what we want to do on vacation. We got, you know, industrial codes. You can drink the tap water. Stuff isn't just going to break out of nowhere. AC everywhere. Air conditioning literally everywhere. Like in basically every building you go into. So we love the United States, bro. I'm so happy to be back. So happy to be home. It was great. Did you like Mexico? Honestly, I don't see why people would go on vacation there over the United States. I just don't see it. And also, I like people speaking English, right? There's that at the end of the day. Bro, do a video about Iowa, Virginia, and Alaska next. It's going to be like one request per person. I'm kind of swamped on these. The next two, I don't know in which order, but the next two are going to be South Carolina and Tennessee. Because I've been getting asked by a couple of guys about those pretty frequently. So I'm looking to do those ones next. Getting an elite defender. I did enjoy my time in Mexico. Like, it was a good time, you know. It was warm. I got some sun. That's why I'm looking, you know. That's why I'm looking tan and stuff. That's why my nose is burnt. I enjoyed spending time with the family. I liked, you know, I was able to legally buy alcohol, which is pretty cool. Not that I'm an alcoholic or anything. It's just like, it was kind of cool to be able to do. And I'm not going to complain. Like, the resort was nice. We were accommodated. It was a good time. It was a getaway, but my next vacation will be within the U.S. My next vacation will be domestic. Oh, Oh, shit. That's not good. That was almost really bad. That was almost really bad, dude. Holy shit. Should Puerto Rico become a state? I don't think so. I'm not for Puerto Rico becoming a state. I don't. And honestly, I don't think most Puerto Ricans are either. I think they held a poll and it wasn't that many of them. Like, it was a decent percentage, but it wasn't all of Tennessee. The best part of Mexico is Mexico City, and that's the only part in Mexico that's similar to the United States. Yeah, I was in Cabo. And I looked it up. Cabo is actually the highest average household income in Mexico. Well, I don't know about household, but I think at least individual. I went to Mexico when I was like 2 or 3 because my parents went on vacation there and they brought me. But I hadn't been back since. Like, I didn't remember it, you know what I mean? I was too young. So I didn't even consider myself having been to Mexico. And you know what, though? We were talking about the heat. Cabo is just as hot as it. I live in Orlando, okay? So I have high expectations for tourism. I was born in the tourist capital of the world, right? If you count domestic tourists. Number 1 tourist destination in the world is Orlando. Thoughts on Methodists? I don't know anything about Methodists. But I have very high expectations for tourism, you know? But I go there and I'm like, the U.S. has this stuff too. It's just they have other accommodations. They have other amenities that you don't get here in Mexico. The 2024 poll was about 58% wanting to become a state. I didn't know that. I saw a poll from, I think it was like 2019 or 2020, and I was just citing that. And I saw that like in 2020. But, hey, if they want to become a state, I guess, I mean, it would increase the tax base, give them representation, which I'm not entirely opposed to, but thing is, I like preserving American culture. And this isn't even a racist thing, it's just America does have a culture. Like, we have, it's my entire account is about American culture. We have customs, we have traditions, and I want them to be preserved, and I want America to be respected. And Puerto Rico, like it or not, I'm not saying for good, bad, better, or worse, they are a different culture to the rest of the United States. So I want to make sure that the culture of America can be maintained. You know? What do you think of Bad Money's music talking about Puerto Rico? I don't listen to it. And you know what? Here's the thing. The solution to music that you don't like is don't listen to it. I don't have a problem with it because I don't have to listen to it. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to sit here and complain about the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, I didn't even watch it. I don't watch football, so I don't really like. I don't care. It's not something that keeps me up at night. Like, oh, they got this fucking Spanish guy singing songs at the Super Bowl and the halftime show. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. People can have whatever their opinion on it is. Who is the basketball GOAT in your eyes? Dude, I'll give you an answer, but I don't watch basketball at all. Like, I shit you not, the only sport I watch is mixed martial arts. I only watch the UFC. Sometimes if like Usman or Magomedov is fighting or something, sometimes I'll watch the PFL, or I watch like the MVP card when that happened, that Jake Paul hosted. That's it. That's the only sporting events that I watch. That's it. Nothing else, okay? So my basketball GOAT is LeBron. And the reason I have LeBron is because basketball is a team sport, okay? So comparing championships is, in my opinion, for a team sport, kind of dumb. Liam says, what's your top 3 most underrated presidents? I'll get to that in a minute. I'll finish this. This is somebody who does not... Oh, Nate the Great says, yo, America 100. America 100, baby. Let's go. America 250. No, but my reasoning for LeBron, as somebody who doesn't watch basketball, is he's doing it in the modern era. Sports evolve over time, so naturally, the competition's going to be better the longer the sport's around. 1. 2, except in like wrestling or like track and field, because those sports are so old. Or maybe like, I don't even know what else. But yeah. And then in a team sport, championships are kind of dumb because your team helps you do that. But again, like I say, I don't watch basketball. I've never watched an NBA game start to finish. Never in my entire life. Okay, so you can't even make fun of me for this take because I just don't know any better. And then also, my other thing is the longevity. He's been doing it for so long. And then also, my friends who watch basketball, they grew up with LeBron, so they're obviously going to push the LeBron agenda. So that's my basketball GOAT. Why focus on things you don't like? It's a waste of time. Yeah, true. So that's my take. So you asked me who's the basketball GOAT. I think LeBron is the basketball GOAT for those reasons. If I watched basketball, maybe I'd have another opinion. Top 3 most underrated presidents: James Polk, James Madison, and a lot of people like Kennedy. You're right, guys. Linkin Park forever. Facts, dude. Linkin Park forever. Linkin Park forever. Who's my third? Torin YYXY. Thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate that around here. It does not go unnoticed. Anthony Logan says Linkin Park forever. So my third most underrated president, I would say, what fast food place scares you the most? None of them really scare me, to be honest. I'm not really scared by any of them. But, ooh, please give me. Yes, dude. Thank goodness. All right. Fast food place scares me the most. Stud, thank you so much. My third most underrated president. Maybe, I've heard a lot of good you know what? I've heard a lot of good things about Nixon. But obviously he gets hate, rightfully so, for Watergate. Maybe Nixon. Maybe Eisenhower. Not a lot of people talk about him. He got us out of the Korea War, and he also was responsible for building the highways as well. So that was good. JFK, a lot of people don't have JFK in their top like 4 or 5. I think that would underrate him. I have him at number 1. So might be that. Bro, what do you think about Reagan? Reagan was mid? I agree with that. I think Reagan was mid. I think Reagan started the modern era Republicans, which I'm not going to try to get into modern day politics. I don't want to get into modern day politics, but I feel like Reagan was given... Oh, shit, dude. What the hell? Thank goodness. I think Reagan was given a lot of credit for dismantling the Soviet Union, which I feel like kind of would have happened anyway. And then the whole, like, upping the military budget, making the military budget crazy, I feel like it wasn't 100% necessary. I don't think he was bad. Like, it could have been a lot worse, but I don't think he's top 5 or 10, to be honest. The fast food place that scares me the most. I'm trying to think about that. That's an interesting question. People would say McDonald's, but I'm just not scared by McDonald's. I love McDonald's, bro. I'm an American. Like, what American doesn't like McDonald's, bro? Are we dead ass? I don't know. That is a tough question. For me, at least. Okay, I'm selling the Start Monkey. I'm sorry that you asked me to put it there. I'm going to make this slower because I just want to get a Spectre. And then eventually upgrade it into a Flying Fortress. Okay. Now we're gonna get the Grandmaster Ninja. Also responsible for pushing drugs into American cities. Yeah, he did start the war on drugs, no? Okay, we're gonna save up for the Flying Fortress. Still trying to think about the fast food place that scares me the most. Probably... You know what? It's Chick-fil-A. It's Chick-fil-A purely because everybody is like, dude, Chick-fil-A is the best fast food place by far. Like, they're anti-LGBT and LGBT people still eat there. Like, it's kind of nuts. I feel like they kind of brainwash people to the point where it's like they could release anything and people are just going to eat it up. I'm not saying that they're bad. I think Chick-fil-A is good, but... You know what I mean? Oh, within range? I didn't know I had to do that. Burger King? I like Burger King, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Their burgers are actually fire. Like, I don't know if they're the king, but they're good, bro. Like, Burger King is fucking good, dude. And don't tell me it's not. Like, just get their burger and straight up burger, meat, cheese, bun, no ditty. And get it with fries and tell me it's not good. It's fucking good, dude. I would eat a fried cow toe from Chick-fil-A. Exactly! Exactly. That's why it kind of scares me a little bit. Like, if you ask me that question, I've never even thought about that before, but now that I think about it, yeah, it is kind of crazy. Chick-fil-A could force people to eat whatever. They'll just eat it. They could be putting chips in you, bro. Imagine Chick-fil-A just randomly starts putting chips in their chicken nuggets. Like microchips. And they just fucking chip everybody. I could see that happening. Tell me you couldn't. And everybody continues to eat it because they're like, dude, it's Chick-fil-A, bro. It's fire. Dude, the Batman Super Monkey is actually too good. I'm going to get a Flying Fortress first, but like... The guy's crazy. Do I have enough for a Flying Fortress? Bro, almost, dude. Please tell me. I have to go into debt to get this. Oh, yeah. Woo-hoo. Dude, I was almost cooked. I would take a Meat Mountain before I ever eat another burger from the King. Bro, you just got bad Burger Kings around you then. I'm telling you, like, Burger King is actually fire. Or maybe I just had, like, a really good Burger King, because I ate from, like, 1 or 2 in Pennsylvania, specifically. Maybe I just had the best Burger Kings in the country. Dude, I would get off a meeting at work, and I would just go straight to Burger King. Or no, I would go to the gym, and then I would go to Burger King. Or I'd get off a meeting at work, and then I would go to the gym, and then I'd come home, go to Burger King at, like... Dude, it just comforted me. And also, when I was going through a tough time in my life, where I was like, I don't believe depression's real, but I felt depressed. You know what I mean? Like, I think depression is a bunch of BS that's meant to make you just take drugs. I think it's complete bullshit. But I felt you can feel depressed, but I don't think you have some mental disorder that means you can't be happy. Just improve your life. But I was in a bad time, and, you know, Burger King was there, bro. Burger King was helping me, man. I was dealing with some fucking issues, like... Krusty Burger scared me. Bro, I'm telling you, I went to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. I was 10 years old, and I was terrified, bro. I'm telling... I went when I was 9. I wasn't scared at all. I went a year later when I was 10. I was petrified. And to get away from the scare zones, my family takes me into the Krusty Burger at Universal. So, it kind of scares me a little bit, too, to be honest. Scares me a bit, too. For that reason. I had one good burger from the King when I was working at a mental hospital, and every single burger after has been buns. Bro, Burger King's there for you in your time of need, bro. That's what it is. That's what it is, bro. Burger King's there when you need them the most. And that's why they're the king. That's why they're the king, bro. Should I get this? Monkeynomics or I don't even know what else. What else should I even try to get? A lot of stuff I don't have. Man, I feel the same way, and the gym and Christ help with depression. Yeah, they do. 100% they do. 100p. I'm just going to get another Dark Champion, bro. The Dark Champion's kind of goated. What? Alright, whatever. I always spam Sniper Monkeys, lol. Yeah, I have the one dude, but I don't think getting more of the same is really gonna help me that much. I'm gonna get this though. I feel like that's gonna. Oh yeah. That shreds the shit. That shreds that shit. I don't have Paragons or anything like that unlocked, so I'm just gonna try to like. I don't know, spam down random crap. I think I'm gonna try to get a temple though. I'm gonna try to get a temple. Let me get a temple. I'm gonna put this guy right over here. We're gonna go like that. Okay, I'm gonna try to get a temple. I think here would be like the best place to put it. Yeah, I need like 50,000 from each category, right? What's the most expensive category here? Dude, nothing is expensive. Okay. That would be expensive. Yeah, those are expensive. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get that. Need 50,000 from each. Do I have something that's 50,000 from it? Yes, I do. Okay. We're gonna get this. We are going to go with the ninja. I think would be good. Because if I just get, oh wait, no, fuck. I'll go with the wizard. Oh shit. That ain't good. Alright, cool. What's the most expensive wizard path? I think this one 10,000? No, that's not enough. Yeah, it has to be this one. So we're gonna go with that. Guys, I gotta go to work. Have a nice day. See you next. Bro, what are you playing, by the way? I'm playing Balloon Star Defense. Thank you, bro. Thank you for joining the stream. Have a great rest of your night. And God bless. It's just... Dude, this is kind of crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna lock him here. So he can help a little bit. Okay, now, what else? I need this. So is there something? Yes, okay, that's perfect. I think this, yeah, that's in range. All right, cool. We gotta rip that ability, though, because that ability's kind of nuts. Okay. That will be all. Oh shit. Yikes. Oh dude, it's getting fucking close, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's getting really close. Thank you guys for liking the live on TikTok, by the way. Looking at the pops. Oh shit. That was not good, bro. Oh fuck. Need the Super Monkey Temple thing? Yeah, I had it. All right, whatever. We'll play another one. Let's do. I've already done this. Let's try this one. Okay, so they come through here and then they go like here and then there. Okay, cool. Whoa, that actually is kind of hard. Alright, let me do a free monkey. We'll do 2, actually. We'll do 1 here. I think that covers the most. And then we're going to do another free monkey up here. Let's do like a Desperado up here. Because that's just going to cover everything. Alright, cool. I don't have anything unlocked for the Desperado, by the way. Nothing. I don't think I can put farms anywhere, though. Unless I can put farms in here, but I don't think I can. Oh, I can. I don't know if a farm will fit there, though. I don't think it will. I think I'm going to have to put them here, if anything. The Pirate Monkey's so OP. Well, unfortunately, I don't think I have anything from him unlocked. Yeah. I have nothing good unlocked from him. That's the problem. You know what, while I'm doing this, I am going to update Fortnite. So maybe by the end of the stream we can get a we can get some Fortnite up and running. Yeah, we're cool. We can get Fortnite running by the end of the stream. I think. I believe... Oh, shit. The second path just lets you kill bosses. Tough. Oh, shit. That's not good. We're just gonna retry that real quick. It was right here, yeah. That was bad. Okay, I think I do have to sell this. Yeah, I have to sell the farm, which is really unfortunate. So I can get a fucking cannon. But whatever, it's fine. We can get the farm back relatively quickly. Are you Bro, are you serious? Oh wait, shit. Okay, sell, cannon, strong. We're gonna get faster reload as well, just to make sure that we're good. And then, there we go. Thank goodness. We should be good for a while. Until the camo LUDs come through. Or a Moab. I'm probably cooked to a Moab, to be honest. Like, as of right now, I think I'm cooked to a Moab, but whatever. We're gonna see. I might have to go Moab Destroyer on this one. on the cannon. And I think putting somebody long range like here, that's probably a good strategy. I'm gonna put an engineer over here. I feel like that's probably good, right? Yeah, let's just put an engineer. I think with like sprockets and deconstruction, I should be able to take out a Moab when it comes pretty soon. So now we're good. Let's get some more farms up, and then we should be chilling. Oh yeah, we destroyed the Moab. That was easy. I'm gonna get one more farm up, and then I'm gonna take a look at upgrading the sub, because the sub being big is really good. 2,300. Yeah, we got that in the bag. Yeah, now we're chilling. Now we're chilling. We're chilling for a little while, so I'll get another farm up and running whenever I can. Let's collect that. Okay, this one is not going to go on as long as the last one because I do not have enough space for farms. Little tragic, but it is what it is. Florida guy joined. No way. The best state. Florida. Dude, I love Florida, bro. It's my home. What part of Florida are you from, Florida guy? Tell me. From Orlando. 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 The Dark Knight. I don't think I need this anymore, actually. And I'm gonna put this. Oh wait, he can already see camo, can't he? Put a monkey village here, so that people there can see camouflage. I'm gonna get this. I can buy. Actually, if I get that, that's gonna be better, isn't it? Just long term. Bum, bum, bum. Katie says peak game. Yes, it is, Katie. Yes, it is. You have good taste in video games. We're playing this because some of my other games are updating, though. That's the main reason, to be honest. That's how peak it is? Yeah. Facts. You right, you right. Oh, shit. Oh, no, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Another banana farm here. Take out some money. Yikes, dude. It's getting a bit crazy. Getting a bit crazy, isn't it? Let's buy that. This is why I play other games at the same time. That's hilarious. I don't think this guy's helping at all anymore, to be honest. And I can't even upgrade him. That's the sad part. Yeah, we're saving up for 25K. We're hoping to get the Spectre pretty soon here. Alright, here we go. Bam! Easy. Easy. My power just went out? Oh, that sucks, dude. Well, I'm happy you're back. I'm happy you're back, man. It's great to see you back in here, American Nationalists. Is Sub Commander any good? Does anybody know in the chat? Tell me, is there room for another? There is! How frickin' cool is that? Well, they're getting through a little bit now. You know, me and my friends got a joke that you can, like, get to round 200 in this game on your phone while you're in school, and then you just huck it at the teacher, and that's like a threat. Like, it'll blow up in her face. You guys agree or no that, like, that's a serious threat to the school's safety? Wait, can I? No freaking way. That is insanity. That's crazy. Okay. I can actually pack a lot of farms into here, can't I? What game is this? Go back to Fortnite? Balloons Tower Defense. Bro, my Fortnite is updating. I would actually go back to Fortnite, but my Fortnite's updating. That's why I'm playing this, because it doesn't require any Wi-Fi, so I can update while we're playing it. And I think it's fun. It's low cortisol. I can talk to the chat, whatever. You know what I mean? Jacob Andrew Francis. I'll check what percent my Fortnite's at. It is at... It's about half. Apex barely updates, by the way. No, we're not playing Apex. We are never playing Apex. Never playing Apex. I have terrible ears, terrible aim. I don't know what any of the characters do or anything like that. I'm never playing Apex, guys. It's never going to happen. What is your favorite state? Florida, bro. Born in Florida, live in Florida now. I think it's the best state, in my opinion. But I respect the opinion of, like, whatever other state is better because you live there, too. I'll respect any state. It doesn't matter. No, it isn't. Bro, it's an opinion. Yo, what's up, Marcus? Jose says, yo, what's up, Jose? How you been? I feel like I've seen you before, right? Oh, dude, this is getting close. This is really close. Young Bull. Good, how you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you so much for the populars, and thank you for liking the live as well. Yeah, we're cooked, bro. Whatever. It is what it is, man. I'm not a big, I'm not too mad about that. It's fine. I think I got what I wanted out of it. I got the money, right? Should I spend some of that money getting a monkey farmer or no? What made you so passionate about American history over any other kind of content? Well, because that was what was unique about me. So originally I was doing like gym content, whatever, and you know, there was nothing really unique about it. There was nothing that made me special or different. So I started, you know, mixing in American. Damn, bro, ain't even noticed it's me. I did notice it's you, Connor. Come on. I just usually don't read out the names of people I know in person. But yeah, Jose, I'm doing pretty good besides the fact that I'm sick. But yeah, so I started mixing it in, and then I started doing some history content. Like I made a video about Polk, and I made a video about George Washington, but they did way better than any video I had made up until that point. That wasn't like a meme. So, whoa. I don't know about all this. So I just decided I'm going to pivot to this, and yeah, it's because I don't like being told that because I'm not, you know, the child of immigrants or the grandchild or the great-grandchild of any immigrants, that I don't have culture and I need to be enriched with culture, blah, blah, blah. Just because I'm an American, I don't like that. That's what made me so passionate about it. And people say America has no history or American history sucks. Whatever. I hate hearing that. American history is very interesting. American history is not any more evil than any other history in the world. So, and I just want to spread that message. I wasn't very patriotic until a couple of years ago, and you know what? I realized some other people might need the same nudge that I got. So I wanted to give that to people. How's that for an answer? What path is the dinosaur? It's the middle one. The middle one. Dude, are we serious? That's crazy. Alright, we're gonna try this one then. We're gonna do this guy. This map's kinda tough, you know. Perfect answer. Thank you. What religion and denomination are you? I am a non-denominational Christian, but I go to Catholic Church. I go to Catholic Church because I think they're the most serious, bar maybe Orthodoxy, but I think Orthodoxy and Catholicism are equally serious. The reason I'm non-denominational is because I'm a new Christian. I don't know too much about any of the denominations, and I feel as though to be saved, there's not a bunch of acts you have to do. You just have to accept Jesus Christ into your heart, which is why I've kind of gravitated towards not actually having a denomination, because I don't think, I just don't know why, because there's arguments for every denomination, and it's not like, at least in my opinion, the Bible does not make it like objectively clear that one of them is correct. So I don't think to be saved you have to figure it out. So I think everyone in any denomination of Christianity is saved. And I do also think that it is you don't have to figure out Christianity because I feel like the evidence for it is stronger than anything else. Like the evidence is stronger than any other religion, any other denomination. It's stronger than atheism. It's stronger than all these things. So that's why I think you have to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, but you don't have to do all the other acts. That's just my opinion. That's my take on the matter. I could be wrong. Listen, I'm a new Christian. I got serious about Christianity this calendar year, 2026. So I could be wrong. I don't have an in-depth knowledge of Scripture, but that's just my take on the matter. And I also have the thief on the cross answer. He didn't do any of these things. He wasn't a Catholic. He wasn't Orthodox. He wasn't Protestant. He wasn't a Methodist. He wasn't any of these things. He just accepted Jesus Christ into his heart as his Lord and Savior, accepted Jesus Christ was God, and that he needed to submit to him. And it took him, what, a second? And he is the one regular human being who we know for a fact ascended into heaven. So that's my whole reasoning. I'm not willing to debate on this. I'm not knowledgeable enough on Christianity to do debates, but that's just my reasoning. That's me explaining because you asked. Okay, I gotta get some farms up. And I gotta get a way to pop lead real quick. Speaking of... What do you think of the first American Pope Leo? Love him. I love Pope Leo. I'm super happy we got a Pope coming out of the United States. I have the utmost respect for Catholicism. I have the utmost respect for Pope Leo. I love to see a Pope coming out of Chicago. As an American patriot, as a Christian who goes to Catholic Church, I love to see it, honestly. I love to see it. Dude, why does this have to be the big one? Bro, you're joking. Alright, whatever. We're just gonna give this guy one of those. Should I go the bottom route for my farms this game? Because I can't go the top route, unfortunately. I don't have farmers to do that for me. I'm gonna try the bottom path. Let's see. Let's just see how it goes. Why do you go to Catholic Church or Why do you go to Catholic Church or a Protestant one, like the Founding Fathers and most other Americans? Because I feel like in the modern day, Catholicism is the most serious one, bar Orthodoxy. I think they're equally serious. I feel like there's a lot more Protestant churches that are kind of messing about. You know what I mean? That tolerate a lot more than they're supposed to. And you know, I don't like that. I don't think Christianity was meant to be a degenerate religion. I don't think it was meant to be a religion that tolerates degeneracy within its members or that promotes anything like that. And now I'm not saying all Protestants are... Dude, this is really annoying. I'm not saying all Protestants are degenerates or anything like that, but I'm saying you never see a Catholic. And I see a lot more people that say, I can't do that, I'm Catholic. I would never do that because I'm Catholic. I almost never hear people say, I'm not going to do that or I can't do that because I'm Christian. Or, well, because I'm Protestant or whatever. So I just think it's the most serious. That's the main reason. I don't have anything against people who do, so long as they take it seriously. I just feel like it's more common to see there. And I do enjoy Catholic Church. So I also enjoy the... Anything is better than a mega church. Well, technically my Catholic church is a mega church because it seats a whole shit ton of people, like 800. But the thing is, they still do the Catholic tradition. Like I went to a Spanish church when I was in Mexico, and they were speaking Spanish majority of the time. It was on the resort property where most of the people are American, which is kind of weird, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. My church follows the exact same tradition. Like I love the authority that is projected, the aura of the Catholic Church. You know what I mean? It has aura. You feel God's presence. You feel God's presence. Time has changed. This church and these traditions have not. This is how church was held right after Jesus ascended into heaven. So I'm like, I like that. You know what I mean? That's my take on why I go to Catholic church over something else. My local church is more dancing than learning. I've had to stop going. Find another local church. You know, I don't like when they play like, I don't think this is disrespectful to God or anything. And I'm not saying inherently that everybody who does this is like messing around or whatever, but I just don't like, you know, treating the beginning like a comedy special. I don't like, you know, the electric guitars and the drum sets in church. I just feel like that's not as serious. You know, you don't feel the presence, you don't feel the aura, you don't feel the tradition, you don't feel the authority. Ugh, dude, why is this map so cooked? If Mexico is willing to join the U.S. and all their citizens would become voters in a peaceful transaction, would you support it? No. For the exact same reason why most people... Jose sent 20 populars. Thank you so much, Jose. We really appreciate that. For the same reason the people after the Mexican-American War didn't support it. For the exact... Like, literally the exact same reason. Yeah, but I'm not a Catholic, so I can't really go to the second closest. There are barely any of my denomination around me besides that one. I don't know. I mean, do a dance. Let's do this. W Gaming and History Talk. Thank you. Do a dance. We'll do fucking Orange Justice, bro. Gen Z. No, I'll go to any denomination church though. But yeah, I wouldn't support I wouldn't support Mexico becoming a state for the exact same reason as the people during the Mexican-American War didn't, or becoming a bunch of states, because they're simply too different. Would you go to a synagogue? No. No, I would not. Because I don't believe in Judaism. I believe in Christianity. Let's just do an easy ass map. Elder Millennial? Elder Millennial? Millennial? I was born in 2006. But the reason I wouldn't support Mexico becoming a state or, you know, a series of states is because they're too different culturally. It's going to fundamentally change the culture of the U.S. when you bring in that many people who are that different. So I wouldn't support it for that reason. And also, I mean, there are economic factors as well, but I'm not that good with economics. I know the basics, but the easier argument against it is the cultural one. What do you think about the Mormons? I don't know too much about their belief system. There's a ginormous... Do the bar mitzvah dance? I can't do that. I know what you're talking about. I physically can't do it. Like I'm literally incapable of doing that. Like I couldn't, even if I tried, I couldn't. Dude, I'm trying to think of what monkey to place down. I just can't even think of it. Out of these guys, I'll place down this one. The Mormons. There's a ginormous Mormon church like right next to my house, like within a 5-minute drive. I don't know too much about what they believe, but it doesn't seem correct to me personally, so I don't know. I like their attitude. I like how they have a traditional mindset. They have traditional values. I like that. I think Utah's a cool place. I've been to Utah. I snowboarded in Utah. That was the one state I missed, by the way. When I was saying what states I've been to, I missed Utah. I forgot I went to Utah. I went to Utah to visit my great-grandma 9 years ago. What if Canada wanted to join the U.S. and turn their territories into states? Canadians are similar. Canadians are more similar. I don't know that I'd support it. And it's not even a I'll make an AI vid of you doing a bar mitzvah dance. Okay. It's not even a skin color thing. But Canadians are more similar. They speak English. They have the same denomination as most Americans. They share American values. They have free speech. They're closer to Americans economically. They use the same brands and businesses as Americans. And they've been right on the border of majority of the American population for ever. Their cities are very similar, looking, feeling, acting, sounding to American. I don't know 100% that I'd support it because they are still different, but there's a greater argument to be made there. What did you think of the Dearborn Jake Lang thing? I think it's an Israeli psyop. One Nation Under God, I will get to in a second. I'll get to. Actually, I'll just answer it right now. I'm gonna go live on Sunday again. The only reason I wasn't live was because I was on vacation with my family in Mexico. And then, what did you think of the Dearborn Jake Lang thing? I heard about, like, somebody asked me if I was going to it. I don't know why. I don't know why they thought I would be. I didn't hear anything about it beyond that. I genuinely don't even know what it was about. Was it about the Somalians there? Was it like a protest or a speech against the Somalians? I don't know. I truthfully don't know about it. There's Arabs there. Oh yeah. I've heard about the Arabs being there. So that's what the speech was about. Was it a speech, protest, what? Dude, what? This is crazy. I think this would be. It was a protest? Okay, to be honest, I think protesting is largely a waste of time. It rarely ever gets anything actually done. Like, yeah, there's rare instances where it does get stuff done. But most of the time, it just serves as a means for people to get doxxed. It serves as a means for people to get attacked, and it rarely ever does anything. So, do I agree, disagree with the message? I'm not gonna say, but I think it's largely a waste. To be honest, I think you're much better off just getting into a position of power yourself, gaining influence, gaining money, gaining status, and trying to influence things instead. Wildest conspiracy theory you believe? I don't know, dude. I believe conspiracy theories when there's actually, solid concrete evidence that exceeds the evidence to dispute it. The speaker 6GHJ, hello, bro. I've missed you. How you doing? No, they are physically incapable of integrating into American society and Western culture. Unlike many others, I think Muslim immigration fine. Do you agree? Don't trust Jake Lang. Okay, like I've said the entire time, I want to preserve American culture. And I have, my entire account is literally dedicated to what American culture is. So I can, if you want what American culture is, literally just watch, half of my videos. So, I know many Muslims and they believe Jesus is a prophet. Yeah, but they don't believe he was God, which is why they're incorrect. And they say he never claimed to be God when he very well did. But, okay, I'm going to say it. If somebody is Muslim, right, But they assimilate, they adapt to American culture. They can keep their religion, it's fine, but so long as they respect our religion of Christianity, they respect our laws, they respect our culture, they respect our heritage, they respect our history, I have no problem with the individual. I do have problems with large enclaves. You know what I mean? I like to separate them. When is the next time you go live? I said Sunday. Sunday night at 5. In America, though, I think the Muslim immigration is overstated. Because America is like 1% Muslim. I don't think it's a ginormous, glaring issue in the United States as of 2026. You know what I mean? I think homosexuality is a sin, and what about its legality? I'm going to try to steer away from the political questions, but that is a religious question. Homosexuality is a sin in the Bible. Now, do I hate homosexuals? No. Do I hate the act of homosexuality? Yes. Hate the sin, not the sinner, okay? We're all sinners. We're all equally sinners. So, I don't like enclaves either, but there's always been enclaves. Italians came over and made enclaves. Okay, so here's the difference. Here's the difference between that and now. There's much more... Ignore, I wrote it wrong. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get to everybody. Everybody's asking like complex questions, and I'm trying to navigate around them and not give super political answers. The difference then versus now is America, back when the Italian immigrants came over, or back when the German immigrants came over, or back when, the Irish immigrants came over, had one culture. It was very distinct. It was very unique, and it was easily identifiable. And anybody who didn't adapt to it could be easily pointed out. So they had an incentive to assimilate. Whereas now, in certain areas, like especially the major cities, they're unrecognizable, and you can't really identify certain places. Okay, not every major city, not every town, but certain places you just can't recognize that it's America anymore. It's turning into something different. And you have all these immigrants coming in from all these different places in the world, so there's no longer... You must mean the Borg. Okay. So there's no longer an incentive to assimilate. So, like when the Italians, the Germans came over, there was an incentive to assimilate, and now you can't really tell them apart from like a founding stock, Anglo-American who was here from the beginning. Oh shit, wait. Dude, am I cooked? Okay, I'm not cooked. I don't mean to offend anybody by any of this, by the way. Like I'm trying to be as apolitical as I possibly can. If I'm getting too political, please stop me. If I'm getting too political, please stop me, because I really try not to give political takes. Okay, I know many Muslims believe it was probably... Okay. All right, cool. I'm pretty much up to speed with everything. Dude, are we... Hold on. You think Thomas Jefferson was a good president despite the fact that he was Was he an atheist? I do think he was a good president, yeah. Yes, it creates ethnic tensions when there isn't a cohesive identity to fall on. I'm really trying to not be political, so... Alright, let's get something that can pop lead and camo. Let's just do this. Bro. Are we serious? I'm gonna sell this guy. Place on another one, because I think he's gonna be big. He's not gonna be big. Okay, cool. So that was a complete waste of time. Alright. Now we should be good. Okay, bro. Jefferson rewrote the Bible. Rewrote the Bible into the Jefferson Bible and excluded all the miracles. Did he really now? I do think he was a good president. You can separate that. Obviously, I'm never going to support rewriting the Bible. I'm never going to support anything of that sort. But he was undeniably good. He was undeniably good. Louisiana Purchase was amazing. And even before he was president, writing the Declaration of Independence, he was good. Jefferson is by far my least favorite president. Maybe on a personal basis, I could agree with that if he was trying to rewrite the Bible. But from a political basis, he was good for the time, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong though. I'd be open to. I think he's overrated. I don't think he should be on Mount Rushmore. I think James Madison should instead of him. $25K. Do you like Napoleon? He had aura, bro. I'm gonna be honest, he was the greatest general of all time. He had fucking aura. He was cool, bro. He was cool. Did I agree with everything he ever did or said? No, but he was cool. Maybe it's the 10% French in me. Maybe it is. But I think he had some aura. This is the most overrated president. Overrated. Overrated is tough. Reagan's up there. FDR, probably FDR. Probably FDR. People always got him in their top 4, top 5. I don't think he was top 4, top 5. Okay, now I can put a sniper up and it's gonna help. So we can do that, and then we can do that, and then boom! Yo, Reagan is the GOAT? I don't think he's the GOAT. I don't think he's the GOAT. I think he gets a lot of credit for things that would have happened anyway, and he did start the ginormous military budget, which we really don't need. We would still have the biggest military in the world without it, but I'm open to another opinion. He also started the war on drugs, which is I like the thought, but in practice it wasn't great. What is the worst state? In my opinion, the worst state. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think I have a worst state. I like all states. I wouldn't say I like them all equally. I have a top 5 state. I'll get my top 5 states. Teddy, Reagan, Lincoln. Is that your top 3? It's a respectable top 3. Okay, it's your top 3. Fair enough. My top 3, JFK. The Dakotas. The Dakotas is the worst state? Maybe. I could see it. There's not really much. I mean, they got Mount Rushmore, though. They got Mount Rushmore. But my top 3 is JFK, Washington, Teddy Roosevelt. I don't know if it's in that order. I kind of go back and forth on the order, but those are the 3 that are in there. What do you think of West Virginia, my home state? I like West Virginia. I don't have a problem with West Virginia. I've never been there. Never been there. I haven't met too many people from West Virginia. I have I have family friends that live in West Virginia. I haven't seen them in a while. Do I? No, I have actually. Who do I have? I have some kind of family or family friend that lives in West Virginia. I forget. West Virginia is cool, though. West Virginia is cool. I do like that they seceded from the Confederacy. I'm going to be honest. You gotta side with the Union. The only state to secede from the Confederacy is kind of aura. Kind of aura, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Kinda aura. Who killed JFK? Not gonna get into that. Sadly, I gotta go. My partner needs me. Amazing stream. I may return. It's great to have you here. Not top 3 or whatever, but I like James Polk, Teddy Roosevelt, and Calvin Coolidge. Those are good presidents to like. I like all those guys too. I like all those guys too. Okay, I'm gonna save up for the Dark Champion, and then I'm probably gonna buy this guy after. I need more farms, bro. I don't know what I'm doing. I actually don't know what I'm doing. Why do I not have more farms? I need more farms. Oh shit, I went into debt on accident. Whatever. I didn't mean to do that. I don't like the debt ability. I don't like going into debt in this game. I need like 10 farms at least, bro. Oh shit. Oh my goodness. Dude, that was insane. That was close. I like shit my pants a little there. Without getting into conversational details, do you think the relationship between America and Israel is positive or negative? Yeah, that's a political take that I'm not willing to give. I think you could read between the lines in my videos and get my answer on that. James Buchanan and Andrew Johnson got to be the worst. They are pretty bad. Those guys were bad. Oh, please. Ah, shit. All right, we're cool. We're chilling. We chilling. If Nixon didn't have Watergate, he would be top 10. He probably would be top 10. He probably would be top 10 without Watergate. This is very scary. Oh, dude, this is crazy. I'm cooked, bro. There's no way. Yeah, I'm fucked. Let's see. Under what means should America go to war with a foreign country? Okay, I actually have a list. Okay, Fortnite's done. Remind me when I get back, but I am gonna go pee. Remind me of the question when I get back. I'm gonna go pee really quick because I have to pee really badly. Oh shit, dude. Why did I leave my crosshair? I don't know. I meant to take out my earbuds. Oh, fuck. Okay. I'm back. Okay, under what means should America go to war with a foreign country? Under what means? Okay, so there's a couple of things. Number one, would said war benefit America if we achieved our strategic objectives, specifically at home? Would it benefit America? Would it benefit Americans? If the answer is no, automatically do not get into that war. This includes like if the country's a threat to America, whatever the case may be, okay? Or if we win the war, we get something tangible out of it. Number two, what's the cost? What's the cost versus what are we going to get out of it? How much money is it going to cost? What's going to be the like the actual spending cost? What's the effect on the economy? What's the effect to the average American citizen? What's the military cost? So those are questions you got to answer. And then, does the benefit of the war outweigh the cost? Also, can we win it? Is it a winnable war? Like, let's say we're going to go to war with China and our goal is regime change. We're not going to win that. We're not going to achieve that objective, okay? Would that benefit Americans? Yeah, probably. But the cost would be millions and millions and millions of lives, billions, trillions of dollars. We'd destroy so much of our military to the point where it's just not worth it, and we wouldn't even be able to hold it effectively. So it would have no benefit, right? At the end of the day, because we'd lose. Now, I'm not saying we lose a war to China. I'm just saying we would not be able to invade and conquer them to the point where we would get regime change. So can we win is another thing. And the last thing is, do you think every American war has been pointless since World War II? Most of them. I think Korea had a point to an extent to defend South Korea a little bit, but I'm not sure. a little bit. You could argue it, you know. So yeah, that's basically my points. Like, under what context should America go to war with a foreign country? If those questions are answered, and they're answered in a good way, like they're not answered in, no, the war does not benefit America. Tons of Americans would die. We'd spend a shit ton of money. We'd wreck the economy. We'd wreck our military. Blah blah blah. You should make YouTube videos. I do make YouTube videos. Okay. Nixon didn't need to spy on the DNC. He was doing good. Yeah, he did not need to spy on the DNC. He was going to win the election anyway. He won in a landslide. It was a blowout. That was pointless, and it just completely wrecked his legacy. Do you think Pax Americana is over? Not now, but we would know by 2035. It feels like we're being humiliated on the global stage, and it's pissing me off. You should make YouTube videos. Okay, I do make YouTube videos, like I said. I haven't made one in a little while because I've been on vacation, but I do make YouTube videos. I'm trying to get better at them. I'm trying to do them more frequently. Like, make better quality videos and more frequently, obviously, but I do make them right now. We would know by 2035. Pax Americana. What would justify another American Revolution? If they started taking away our actual civil liberties, like overriding the Constitution, etc., like if they took away free speech, for example, that would justify it. I don't think another American Revolution is justified right now, because, and also it wouldn't even work. It wouldn't even work. We don't have the manpower. We don't have the military forces to take over the country. It's a suicide mission, first of all, and second of all, it's not justified. Having bad politicians doesn't just automatically make a revolution justified. It just means a political revolution, maybe. And by political revolution, I mean like fundamentally changing how both of the parties operate and what both of them are running on, what both of them are pushing through, political diplomatic means. But yeah. Is Pax Americana over? Okay, I just had to be sure. Pax Americana is a weird topic. So America is still the global superpower. It is still the most powerful nation on Earth. Umbrella, and today we're gonna make it follow me around. Nice. It's getting harder and harder to have a country be a global hegemon because military technology is getting so destructive for such a cheap price that having a country that just completely dominates everybody else and nobody can stand up to them in any meaningful way in any corner of the globe is just kind of unrealistic. So is Pax Americana over? You could argue it is. You could argue it isn't. I would honestly side closer to it being over, but not due to America falling off, just due to other people catching up. But yeah. I think having another war over abortion would be justified, similar to the Civil War over slavery. No, I think abortion is still bannable through political means. I don't think we need to have a political revolution over abortion. LifeMaxer67 with a crossbow ATM ... Like the live. Thank you so much for liking the live. I just realized that was copyright. You know, though, something that I have realized over the past, couple of weeks. Do you think America's biggest threat, domestic or foreign? Definitely domestic. Do you believe in leaving it up to the states? Abortion? I do like states' rights, okay? I am a fan of states' rights. And if every state would just ban it, because I do believe it's murder, if every state would just ban it, that would be great. Honestly, I'm in favor of whatever method stops unaliving babies. To be honest, if we can get that done through each state, perfect. And you know what? I don't know what's more important, preserving states' rights or banning abortion. I mean, banning abortion is very important. I don't know. That's tough. That is a very difficult question. Well, 500 ping. Why do I have 500 ping? Opinion on Josh Hockett? He's growing on me. He's growing on me. But yeah, America's biggest threat, definitely domestic. It's definitely a lack of national identity, a lack of national pride. Things of that nature. You know, people subscribing to dangerous ideas and ideologies, and then also... Dude, are we serious? And then also just general laziness. How did I miss all of those? What did you think of UFC White House? I think it was great. I thought it was great. I didn't think it was a disgrace to the White House at all. It's fine. They've had much worse events, much more degenerate events on the White House lawn. I had no issue with UFC White House, and I'm a giant UFC fan, so I have to see what's getting my ping to be this high. Why is my ping so high? Is something updated? Something updated on Steam or something? Update queue. Yeah, shit's updating, right? Marvel Rivals is updating. I gotta stop. Okay. Alright, cool. Now my ping's going down. Nice! Bro, you guys are asking a lot of political questions today, though. White House card, not the greatest card of all time. No, it's not the greatest card of all time, but I'm saying I don't think it was like a disgrace or whatever. I thought it was a good card. I thought it was not disgraceful to the White House at all. You know, a lot of my family members, not a lot, but some of my family members were opposed to it. They thought it was a bit disrespectful or whatever, but they came out of it disagreeing with that initial take and changing their mind. They said that was actually, you know, that was good use of the White House lawn. It glorified America. It paid due respect to the history of the country and the formality of the White House. So it was fine. Yeah, future, this... You have pure American physiognomy? I guess. It's a real big word, you know? Physiognomy. Does that mean I look purely American? I'll take it, man. Oh, shit. Bro, why am I so ass? Damn, Zoomers can't read? It's... Dude, first of all, it's far away. It's not a word I've heard a bunch of times. And yes, I am a Zoomer that cannot read. Saw film Brink of War. The game looks like Fortnite. Yeah, tough. I'm also a Zoomer who can't read. See? Exactly. Hot take. This is going to be a hot take, okay? Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna get hate for saying this, bro. Because Zoomers are very divided, okay? I think we're the most polarized generation, but I think the Zoomers are the best generation since the Boomers. I think Zoomers as a whole are better, more motivated, more disciplined, more engaged than Gen X, than millennials, and honestly, maybe than Boomers themselves. Nowhere close to the parents of the Boomers, don't get it twisted. Like, we're nowhere near the fucking silent generation that fought in World War I and World War II. But I'd say we're, like, the best generation since then. Why do you think America was 95% Christian during the 1700s, but only 60% now? Because as society advances, unfortunately, more people do, you know, move away from religion. You see this in most developed countries. You see a lot of atheists in Europe. You see a lot of atheists in Australia, Canada. You're gonna see it everywhere, which is unfortunate because Jesus Christ is the way and the truth and the life. But that's just the way of the world. As we get more advanced, it started like way back in the French Revolution. Talking to millennial guys in their 30s and they're interesting Peter Pans, yeah. But yeah, the general Christian population has been shrinking in terms of percentage since, like I said, the French Revolution. Dude, I am ass, bro. What? Bro, I placed the wall. It's a stereotype that no Gen Z people can read. Some Gen Z people can probably read, even if there are fewer reading books in the genre. I don't read books, I'm going to be honest with you. You think atheism is more of a threat to American values than other religions? No. I don't think so. Honestly, I think it's more of an individual thing than an actual religious thing, because there's good and bad people who are atheist, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, whatever. Hindu, whatever the religion is. I think there's good and bad people in all of them, so it's more an individual threat than it is a group threat when it comes to religion. Have you ever visited the Billy Graham Library? No, I haven't. I don't know what that is. Where is it? Where the Orthodox population went from like 400,000 to like 6 million in America, kind of an outlier. Well, that's due to migration, though. Like, the Muslim population did the same exact thing. Like, the Orthodox population in traditionally Orthodox countries has went down. Like, I'm sure the Orthodox population in Greece has gone down since the 1700s. Because there were no East... So they're all right to me as long as they love this country? True. Same here. I think America should have supported the French Revolution. No, I don't like the French Revolution, to be honest with you. Super degenerate, super anti-traditional. Like, I think it's good that they went away from monarchies, but they took it way too far, and it was super violent. Like, it was one of the most violent, gruesome revolutions of all time. The French Revolution was rated fucking R, dude. Alright. Spider-Man Brand New Day has Christian themes. I've heard that. I've heard that, actually. I haven't seen it because I'm not like a big movie goer, and I've been on vacations all the time since it came out. But I have heard that. Bro. Are we dead ass? Also, with the French Revolution at the time, and I agree with this now, they had my idea of, like, America should go to war if it benefits America. The French Revolution wouldn't benefit America at all. And they were strictly neutral in Europe as well. Best continent? I'm gonna say North America because it contains the United States, and that's my home country. That's the country that I love. That's the country that I'm patriotic to. I mean, the best when you, like, average everything out is Europe. But I'm always gonna have an affinity for North America because it contains the U.S. And that's a personal opinion. Best continent in terms of, like, nature, though, is Asia. Throughout history, who do you think has been America's greatest ally? I don't like the insinuation of greatest allies, but the country that we've been aligned with the longest is probably France. Because even though, like, we did stay neutral during the Napoleonic days, you gotta admit we did go to war with the British because they stopped our trade with Napoleonic France. Bro. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, mate. I'll respond to these questions after I'm done here. Probably Morocco, not France. No, it's not Morocco. Have we ever fought a war with Morocco? Like, I mean, for Morocco? Or in alignment with them? I don't think so. They were the first country to recognize it. Dude. They were the first country to recognize America, so I guess longest standing ally, maybe, but best would probably be France. I think America should have went to war against Britain for Napoleon. We kind of did, though. We kind of did. The War of 1812. Napoleon was still running France. But, who do you think is the Michael Jordan GOAT of all time in American presidents? GOAT of all time doesn't make sense, because GOAT already contains of all time. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Also, I don't watch basketball, but we went over this earlier. I don't think Jordan's the GOAT. But again, I don't watch basketball, so I don't know. I don't know. But my favorite president is either JFK, George Washington, or Teddy Roosevelt. Not necessarily in that order, but you know, it rotates between those guys. Usually it's JFK though. Usually it's JFK. I give him tremendous credit for saving the world twice at Checkpoint Charlie and then the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's why I have him so high. He also drafted the Civil Rights document. You know, it was flawed. It was flawed. It had its problems for sure, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I support segregation enforced by the law. He also put us on the moon, and then, you know, he made it the national priority. He gave the great speech of "We choose to go to the moon," blah blah blah, and then he had some other good foreign policy moments as well. And then Teddy Roosevelt, I just like him due to personal preference. Like, he wasn't really in that impactful of a time, so he couldn't really do much, right? He did a lot for what he was dealt, right? You know, not shutting down entirely, but going against going against monopolies, building national parks. He was even in the Spanish-American War, helped America get some territory. He preached assimilation, said, you know, loyalty to America doesn't mean loyalty to the president. He's very good, very cool president, absolute badass boxer, judoka, got shot in the chest. I love Teddy Roosevelt, but it's more who's better, Napoleon or George Washington? At commanding an army, Napoleon by miles. As a leader, as a historical figure, it's George Washington. If you say you look up to Napoleon, people are going to be like, I don't know about that. If you say you look up to George Washington, people are going to be like, that's a good historical idol. Teddy Roosevelt has his own presidential library in South Dakota. That's tough. That's super cool, man. I love to hear it. I love Teddy Roosevelt, bro. He's so cool. He was the most badass president. Have you ever visited a presidential library museum? I don't think so. Greatest period in American history. Most interesting would be the Cold War. And for greatest prosperity, I'm going to get a little bit more specific and say the 1950s. Specifically. And I'm talking about just in American history. Most interesting in world history is World War II. And most interesting in American history is the Cold War for me. Do you think the Founding Fathers would be happy with modern day America and President Trump? Okay, I'm not going to approach this from a political perspective, okay? I think the Founding Fathers would like certain things. They'd like that we, you know, fulfilled Manifest Destiny, we expanded across the continent. They would like that we abolished slavery, because most of them didn't support it, even though they had slaves themselves. They would like that the Constitution survived a civil war. They would like that, you know, their experiment worked. They wouldn't like all the degeneracy. They wouldn't like how many people are advocating for like advocating for some other BS. Would they be happy with President Trump? There's things that Trump has done that have gone against the wishes of the Founding Fathers, 100%. Because I really would love to stay out of politics for as long as possible, I'm going to refrain from saying what they are, but again, you can watch my video on George Washington's warnings and what the Founding Fathers would think of modern day America. You can kind of guess what they are. But, yeah. Best museum I've ever visited? Probably the... Does the Kennedy Space Station count as a museum? I don't know. If so, it would be that. I haven't been to a lot of museums. top 3 UFC fighters of all time, Jon Jones, or Islam 1, Jon Jones 2, Volk 3. Like, in terms of, not in terms of how much I like him, but in terms of, like, resume. Men should not play in women's sports. True. But in terms of how much I like them, I don't know. Volk's my number 1 in terms of how much I like him, but I don't know if I could do a top 3 outside of that. How is Islam over Jones? He has better wins, and he he doesn't have a loss to Dominic Reyes. Oh, dude, come on. Like, I don't care what the judges said. Jon Jones lost to Dominic Reyes, rounds 1, 2, and 3. DC is nowhere near Volk's level in terms of resume, in terms of longevity, in terms of what he actually did in the sport. He's not on Volk's level. The quality of Volk's wins far exceeds DC's. DC doesn't have a win on his resume that's anywhere near Max Holloway, that's anywhere near Jose Aldo. He barely even has, like, Diego Lopez level wins, you know what I mean? And Volk has a win over prime Jose Aldo. That was him in his prime. He was like 32 years old when he fought Volk. And that's like a top 15 fighter of all time. Max is also a top 15 fighter of all time. Volk beat him 3 times. You know what I mean? And Volk's only wins are to other guys in the top, or losses are to other guys in the top 10. You know what I mean? And he broke the 35 curse for the lighter weight classes. At 36, not even 35, mind you, and he was the first guy to do it. And Islam has a win over him. That's better than the DC win by miles. And then Jones' second best win, non-ironically, hate me for saying it, I don't think Jones lost to Reyes, judging by the last round, not gonna lie, but that's not what you judge off of. Oh, what state do I live in? I live in Florida. I live in Orlando. You don't judge off the last round, you judge off of all the rounds. Dominic Reyes won 1, 2, and 3, which gives him the fight. I don't know how the judges saw it any other way. One of them gave it to Jones 49-46. I think they're blind. But Jones, and then what's Jones' third best win? And also, by the way, the Oliveira win for Islam is better than the Gane win for Jones. It just is. Oliveira, Gane has like what? He's got a good win over Volkov in the first fight. He robbed Volkov in their second fight. That was a win for Volkov. He has a win over Alex Pereira, which is a great win, but Charles Oliveira has Justin Gaethje, who's the current champ. Dustin Poirier in his prime, which is... he never even really left his prime in the UFC, but he has a win over prime Dustin Poirier. He's got a win over a decent version of Michael Chandler. Has a win over Max Holloway as well. Has a dominant win over Mateusz Gamrot, which is good too. He's got a win over a decent version of Tony Ferguson. A win over a #1 contender version of Beneil Dariush before he was washed and chinny. Like, that's a better win than Cyril Gane. And then after that, for Jones, it goes to, like, Gustafsson. And who did Gustafsson really beat? People say he was so good because it was close with Jon Jones and close with DC, but who was his wins? A way pre-prime Glover and a way pre-prime Jan Blachowicz? And he lost to Anthony Smith. You know what I mean? And then the rest of Jones' resume is like middleweights who were were kind of fat. You know, like they didn't have the frame for light heavyweight, and they didn't put on the size the correct way. They were just small. And the sport evolves over time. You know what I mean? The sport evolves over time. Like, these guys from the early 2000s, they're just not on the level of Ian Gary. They're not on the level of Dustin Poirier, which Islam has a win over as well. They're not on the level of JDM. And then, have you ever visited Disney World? Bro, I live 20 minutes away from Disney World. Of course, I've visited Disney World. Jones won the fight and damage and energy, which is what matters, not by how much they hit their... But that is the criteria. That literally is the criteria, though. I mean, yeah, he definitely won rounds 4 and 5, but he lost rounds 1, 2, and 3. Reyes won the fight. I have Jones number 2. 100%. But I have Islam as number 1. And I think he solidified... I think he did. I think it's close. But I think after beating Ian Gary, it's clear to me, at least. Have you ever tried Skyline Chill? No, I have not. But Austin 56979, what is up? Dude, I am cooked. I picture you doing Young Life when you were in high school. What the hell? Oh shit. Dude, are you dead ass? Volk also now has a chance of becoming double champ if he fights Justin. Yeah, but they're not going to give him the fight against Justin. It's kind of pointless. Do you tend to Orlando Magic games? No, I don't watch the NBA. I've never watched an NBA game in full. I don't watch the NFL either. Like, I've been saying this. MMA is the only sport I watch. I just didn't grow up with it. I just don't watch it. What do you think of Andrew Jackson? I think he was a hard worker. I think he was a hustler. I like that. I like that he was like the common man president. He grew up poor, single mother household, and his mom died when he was like 16. Or his mom got eliminated when he was like 16. He made his face, like, his face is literally money. You know what I mean? He went from being broke to his face being money. I think he was cool. Obviously, I don't support all the stuff he did with the natives, but you know, it's a different time back then. It's a different time back then. It was an actual discussion, right? You can't really demonize people for that. Larry95 sends the heart me. Thank you so much, Larry95. Hi, what is up? Also, One Nation Under God, like the live. How you doing, One Nation Under God? Thank you so much. Well, how you doing? You've been here for like hours, but thank you for liking the live. I think abortion is wrong. Yeah, I do think it's murder, yeah. Oh, dude. This is cooked. No way. What? No way. Bro, you're frying me. This is fucked up, man. I'm sick, bro. My head hurts. And you're making me do all this? Just put me in bot lobbies, please, man. Oh, no. Oh no, dude, this is bad. Fun fact, DeSantis got married at Disney World. Don't a lot of people do that? Isn't that like pretty common? I feel like that's a pretty common thing to do. You think the Prime British Empire is better than Prime America? No. No, it wasn't. Because they had rivals. America didn't. In 1991. There was no rival to the U.S. There was always at least one rival to the British Empire. So in terms of strength, no. But in terms of, like, global influence, maybe. You could argue it. In terms of population, obviously, but, you know, if population was the deciding factor for what's a good country, India would be the best country in the world, right? And they didn't have as much money as the U.S. did either. And if landmass was the decider for the best country, then, dude, if landmass was the decider, then Russia would be the best country. So I say America had no rivals. America had a stronger military comparatively. America had arguably a stronger navy comparatively, but it was pretty even. America had, more. America had more money. Arguably more influence. Their influence at the time was pretty similar. I'd say the British Empire probably took it in influence. Have you ever got to travel around America? Of course. So I was born in Florida, and I'm just counting states that I've visited, looked at stuff, stayed the night. Not states that I've driven through or had like a layover in or whatever. I've been to Florida, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. I've been to Colorado, Texas, Utah, California, Hawaii. I don't know if I said Maryland or not. I'm kind of blanking on certain states now. Nevada as well. I think that's it. So I've been to a decent amount of the U.S. I'd like to go to more. I'd love to go to Alaska someday. I'd love to visit Chicago. I want to see Chicago. I do want to properly see the Carolinas. I've driven through them. I'd like to see Wyoming. Wyoming would be cool. I want to see Mount Rushmore in the Dakotas. So I'd love to see more of the U.S., but I've only been to those. You know, the USS Liberty controversy. Dude, I heard something about this. I forget exactly what it was. The Naval Academy is in Maryland. It's true. There's a kid who was on my high school wrestling team. He's wrestling at the Naval Academy right now. And then there was another kid who's on the wrestling team who's at West Point, but he's not on the wrestling team there. He got in on his own, like, accord with no sports to help him. I mean, he played sports in high school and that helped him get in, but, he didn't get recruited by their team or whatever. What the fuck? Which is better, Prime British Empire or Prime Roman Empire? British. Have you ever attended it? I actually have. I've never watched one in full, not in person, but my family took me to an MLB game before, and then in middle school I had a field trip to a Trenton Thunder game. I lived in Pennsylvania during middle school. I lived in Pennsylvania from middle school and high school, and then I moved back to Florida after high school. So yeah, my family took me to a Phillies game when we lived in PA, and my cousins were visiting because my uncle likes baseball. And then I went to a Trenton Thunder game on a field trip in middle school. In 7th grade, I believe. So yes, I have attended multiple MLB games, but not on my own accord. Not on my own accord. Like I said, I don't watch anything other than the UFC. MLB though, I do like going to the game. Like it is fun. It's an American tradition. You know what I mean? Who is the best human history outside of the Bible? I don't know. That seems like you can't really give a clean answer to that. My mom. We'll say that. Is that a fair answer? What person represents history if you had to pick one? Represents history. That's a deep question. You gotta pick somebody like... Dude, I have no... Dude, history is one of the most broad topics ever. Picking one person to represent it is, like, insane work. I don't think you can do that. Or people that root for MLB in Orlando tend to root for the Rays and Orlando? I have no idea, bro. No, I'm telling you, literally, maybe 5% of the population of Orlando watches the MLB. I have no idea. I don't think I've ever even seen a fucking MLB... Well, no, I've seen MLB hats here, but... Like, no, not really. I think it's Napoleon. I don't know, but he has no connection to, like, early history. I mean, I guess he admired early history. But he doesn't represent ancient history, you know what I mean? He did mark a major turning point in history, but... I don't know. You know what? Most people in Orlando were not born in Orlando. I feel like most of them weren't even born in Florida. So they kind of just root for whatever team is where they were born, is what I would say. That's how it is with football. That's how it is with basketball, usually. I mean, Orlando Magic's got some motion. Orlando Magic has some motion. But if I had to answer that question, that would be my answer. There's a lot of Eagles fans in Orlando, I'll tell you that. Rays and Marlins do not seem to get a lot of support if you live in Florida. Yeah, because most people that live in Florida are not originally from Florida. And also, not a lot of people in Florida even watch that stuff. The most popular sport in Florida is basketball, I think. Hit this guy? Yeah, I can. Where'd this guy go? Oh shit. That isn't good, is it? $27? Are we... Dude, that guy sucks. This is probably a bad question, but do you think Catholic saints or political figures are more important? Yeah, I couldn't answer that. Probably important. I would probably say political figures just because they impact the average guy's life more. But also at the same time, Catholic saints obviously have biblical importance, so I don't know. That's really difficult to answer. Nation under God, probably Alexander the Great. He crossed my mind. But the thing is, he doesn't represent modern history. See what I'm saying? Nobody can represent both modern and ancient history, and medieval times, and ultra-modern history. Like, nobody can represent all of it. So I can't give an answer to that question. You can ask who represents each era. But actually, I would say Napoleon marked a turning point in history, right? But I would say the era right before him is represented best by George Washington. If you argue he was the same era as Washington, I'd say Washington represents the era more as well. I'm so sick right now. You already asked what MLB team people root for in Florida. You know the story of Saint King Louis the Ninth? And if so, what do you think of him? I do not. Is that the guy who... was that the last king of France? Was he the guy? I would say him, Napoleon, or some major military leader. Yeah, it's hard. You consider Martin Luther King a Christian hero? A Christian hero? His work had little to do with Christianity. I don't even know. I don't know if he was a Christian himself. I genuinely don't know. But his work didn't have much to do with Christendom. It was still important. Like, it was still good. But like, what he did was positive, right? Like I said before, I don't support segregation under the law, but I don't think it has much to do with the advancement of Christianity. George Washington also showed a change in the world's belief to more liberalism and freedom. Yeah, he did. So did Napoleon, though. Napoleon did economically. Like, he supported giving everyone an equal opportunity in Europe. And he's largely the reason why that ended up happening at the time that it did. Because to the countries that he would take over, like Switzerland and, you know, parts of Italy and, you know, parts of Austria-Hungary when he went there, and he, whenever he would take over a place, he would make it a meritocracy, which before him it was, okay, how important are your parents? That's how important you're going to be. But Napoleon did not have very important parents, so he hated that principle. So when the French Revolution allowed him to take power, and he was so good with the military, when he would take over a place, he would give that place the same ideals so that he could have the best people serving under him. Heard that MLK had affairs? I heard the same thing. But you need to learn the story of King St. Louis. He was incredibly underrated. All right, I'll look into it. If I remember, I will. Dude. This is insanity, bro. What the hell is going on? President Grant is underrated. I think he was kind of a lot of nothing. And he was like one of, if not the most corrupt presidents up until that point in American history. And a lot of people accredit him to presidents becoming more corrupt. So I don't... And I feel like he didn't handle He didn't handle taking the South back into the Union well enough. Like, he kind of largely did nothing for him. He's a great general, though. He was one of the greatest military minds of his time, obviously. Oh, dude, I'm tired. I'm sick. I really hope this passes before my stream on Sunday night. If you were born during the 1700s in America, what would you do for a career? If I was born during the 1700s, what would I do for a career? I'd probably try to be like a blacksmith or something, or I'd run like a store. You know what I mean? I would run like a general store or something like that. I would try to be, you know, a store owner that everybody likes, gives people good prices, stuff like that. That'd probably be what I would want to do. Blacksmith would be cool. Would be cool as fuck too. President Grant was a civil rights champion. Well, he didn't get much done on it. Wasn't corrupt his advisors and guys around him were? Well, yeah, but that introduced that level of corruption into presidential administrations. It set the precedent. Dude, this is insane. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Dude, this is not good. Do you like Buc-ee's? I think it's overrated. It's cool for a gas station, but at the end of the day, it's a gas station. When I moved from Pennsylvania back to Florida, we went to Buc-ee's, and my mom spent like 2 hours in there. It's kind of crazy. He wasn't a good politician. He was a good general. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. What do you think was worse during World War II, the Germans or the Soviets? I think they were pretty much about even. I think the Soviets were worse all time. I think Stalin was worse than the mustache guy. But who was worse? I don't know. Maybe the Soviets, actually. They were both, like, horrible, though. Chick-fil-A is delicious. Yeah, I had Chick-fil-A yesterday. Chick-fil-A is great. I think I'm going to play one more game. I'm going to get one more game in. So I'm like, dude, I'm cooked. Good first stream back? First stream back is good, guys? I think it was right for America to get involved in World War II. Well, if you look at it under the lens of we got attacked by Imperial Japan, yes. And then Germany declared war on the US. If you look at it under the lens of, FDR embargoed Japan and cut them off from all their oil, and then they attacked us, hoping that we would fuck off so that they could invade the Dutch East Indies to get more oil. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think attacking the U.S. was the right thing to do for Japan. Obviously, I think that was a dumb decision for them. They kind of underestimated the American morale in that sense. The American will to defeat a country that has attacked them first. But we did provoke it a little bit. I'm not saying we deserved it under any means. America did benefit from it. And I will say America was largely under no danger, which is why vast majority of people during World War II, before Pearl Harbor, did not support it. I actually looked this up. It was between 80 and 90% at the time did not support military intervention in Europe or Asia. But after Pearl Harbor, that does change it. Nationalism or globalism, I don't know if that's too political of a question. I'm not sure if I should be answering that, so I'm not gonna. But I think you can infer by looking at my account. Do you think nuking Japan was justified? I think it was necessary. I think it was actually necessary, and I think it was the lesser of two evils. Japan was never gonna surrender. Okay? People say, oh, it was the Soviet invasion. That was more just like, okay, we don't really have a diplomatic off-ramp. We have no negotiating room with the United States anymore. I still don't think they would have surrendered because it was very, against their culture to surrender at the time. They literally didn't even have it in their code of ethics. Surrender was just not an option that existed to them. So it was either invade the island, and we'd invaded every island, and they still hadn't surrendered. And literally, 400,000 of them got eliminated, or some crazy number like that, in the island hopping campaign. So the mainland, they're going to defend it even more ferociously. And there would have been 4+ million casualties on the Japanese side, and then another 2 million on the American side, as opposed to either between 100 and 200,000 casualties on just the Japanese side. And also, by the way, more civilian casualties would have occurred from an invasion of the homeland. More civilian casualties would have occurred than that, by far, 100%. So 100 to 200,000 mostly civilian casualties versus millions of military casualties on both sides, possible hundreds of thousands of civilian casualties as well. The war goes on even longer. We spend even more money. It just isn't worth it. So justified, Maybe. I mean, they did bomb Pearl Harbor. Necessary? Absolutely. Lesser of two evils? Absolutely. And you could say, oh, America could have just starved them out. True, but this has an estimated about 1 million civilian casualties on the Japanese side, which is more anyway. And they occurred due to starvation, which is even less humane. So, and you know what? The Japanese aren't even mad about the nukes. Like, to this day. Dude, Americans are more mad about the nukes than Japanese people are. It's crazy. Crazy. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh. We could have just bombed their port and military bases with normal bombs. The nuke was totally overkill and pointless. 95% of civilians died. Well, the thing is, when you just bomb military, we were already bombing their military facilities and their ports. That's not as big of a deterrent. Like, we're already bombing it. And also, Hiroshima and Nagasaki were some of their biggest military bases anyway. But we're already doing firebombing campaigns. We're already doing regular bombing campaigns, and it wasn't working. It wasn't scaring them into submission. A nuke scared them into submission. And the reason it was two was because we had intel that Japan believed we could only produce one nuclear bomb. Like, Japan knew that that the nuke was coming, but they thought we could only do one, right? We thought it was, we thought that they thought it was one and done, which is probably true. That's why we dropped two. Well, I didn't even know about that. Well, I didn't even know they knew about the nuke. Yeah, they did. Most countries knew about the nuke. They knew it was coming. Also, Japan could have surrendered to the firebombing campaign at that point. But there was something compelling them. I think it was just, national spirit compelling them to not do it. But when we dropped two nukes, they're like, oh shit, they have the means to make more than just one of these fuckers. We can't win this. We can't keep sustaining this damage. You know what I mean? I don't know how far in advance they knew about the nuke, but I did hear that they only thought America could produce one. So that's why we dropped two, to show that we could, we can produce more if need be. We have the uranium, we have the logistics, we have the economy, we have the money. You think it was wrong for the U.S. to literally hang Saddam Hussein? I think he was made an example out of. I think the U.S. is... See, now I'm a Christian, obviously. I'd rather people stop, but at a certain point, you do need to have a deterrent for these kind of things. So I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. I do think hanging is obviously brutal. I think any kind of eliminating is brutal. As a Christian, I don't necessarily. I think it's the elimination penalty has to be reserved for like 100% confidence, very specific, very severe scenarios. But I think that's one of them, to be honest. And if he had a peaceful passing, like a euthanasia or something, that's not as much of a deterrent, because these people aren't scared to be eliminated. So I see the argument for both sides, but it is tough for me to say that I would support it as a Christian, because obviously I'd rather he stop and come to Christ and all this stuff, but at a certain point, you do need deterrence. You can't just be walked all over by anybody. Now, do I think, you know, the wars in the Middle East were a good idea? No, obviously not. Oh, where is this guy? What? Like, the wars in the Middle East, that's too much, dude. We need to dial it back, because you look at my criteria for what constitutes a good war, that literally almost meets none of them. I forgot in that criteria, how long is it going to take? Is the war going to play out for months, years, decades, whatever, or is it going to be, you know, a 1 to 2 week operation? And obviously that met none of the criteria. A good amount of Americans were eliminated. It took like 20 years with us occupying them, whatever. The pullout was, and it didn't even, especially Afghanistan, it didn't even do anything in the long run, because the Taliban just took over the second we left. It baffles my mind how people say we lost in Afghanistan. We won the war, occupied them for 20 years, left because it wasn't worth it anymore, tried to train the local Afghans to fight for themselves, and then they just didn't. So I don't know how people say we lost in Afghanistan. That's a brain dead take. We did not lose in Afghanistan. But still, I don't think it was a good idea. I think it was a waste of time, waste of money, hurt the economy, and there wasn't any benefit to Americans at home. So the wars overall were all flops, all failures, all terrible, but, you know. Do you think America would be better if it was Catholic instead of Protestant? Now, if the same amount of people followed Christianity to the same extent as they do now, except they claim to be Catholic instead of claiming to be Protestant, then no. But if being Catholic meant people respected the authority of God more to the level of Catholic Church and, you know, were more traditional, then I think so. But bar that scenario, which I think the more realistic scenario is the first one, I think it would be largely the same in reality. Time is it? 7:51? Yeah, this is going to be the last game. And now, when you guys ask me questions, if you disagree, I'm not trying to like debate or change your mind. I'm usually 9 times out of 10, I'm just giving my specific reasoning, and I'm really trying to stay apolitical in all of my answers. I feel like most of my followers have the same political opinion. It's just not something I want to be discussing on the internet as of right now. I think the Protestant Reformation is good or bad for history. I don't know that much about biblical history, to be honest with you. I don't know the full extent of it. I think it creates I can't accurately answer that question, unfortunately. I wish I was able to, and I'll read up on some of this, you know, older stuff. I'm a lot better with American history than I am with any other kind of history, especially modern. Oh, it's just me and this dude. Where's it? Trying to keep a question focused on history and religion, so I hope I'm not making it. Oh, no, you're not. You're not. Some other people do, though. This guy has played a really good game against me. I'm not gonna lie. He's having a really good fight. Let's see if I can heal a little bit. Yeah, he played a good game, man. He played a good game. I don't think I'm making it out. All right, we lived to see another day. Somehow. I'm one tap to any gun, but live to see another day. Thank you, Niles, too, for the follow on TikTok. Bitch! Last game of the night. Let's go. What made me go to the Catholic Church instead of the non-denominational church? I think Catholic is more serious. I like the aura. I like the tradition. I like how you feel the authority and the presence of God when you walk in there. And I like how time has changed around the church, but the church has not changed. You know what I mean? It's got modern technology now, but the mass is presented in the same way that it was thousands of years ago. Good job on the victory, bro. Thank you. Dude, that is a perfect note to end the stream. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate that. Thank you guys for all the great questions, especially you, Jacob, Andrew, Francis. I'll see you boys on Sunday at 5 p.m. I'm gonna go